The second time we've seen this, nothing's changed. Now we're saying, are you the best trainer for him?
Would you change trainers after 10 straight wins and you've looked better in each fight?
He didn't land any punches and he won a round.
I don't really know our Heyman in it, but there's a reason why he gets thanked before God. Was the AJ before AJ? Adrien Broner, I would love to have a conversation. No one wants to mention
like money made.
Why?
Ting. 12 round unanimous ting. Casual fans on the analyst ting. That ain't KG and Travis's ting. That's undefeated, undisputed like Lennox. Do it on points, jab your head off. Who tried to say that AJ fell off? Must have never had Nigerian.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Undefeated podcast.
The only podcast with two undefeated fighters.
Chatting it up. Listen, before we go any further, thank you for everyone who has subscribed and liked and shown all that good love. But if you haven't, now's your chance.
Now, that's what you gotta do. Listen,
Straight.
get someone that you know, even someone you don't know, and say, you know what, undefeated guys, subscribe to them, man. Lennox and told people do it to do it too. If Lennox couldn't say it, everyone can say it. That's it, people. So listen, like, subscribe, turn on. Let's go.
For real. Bro, what's your tail of the tape?
I was waiting for you to ask me that question, bro. Because I'm 0-0. Never fought, never lost. But if I did, someone gets knocked out. And it's not me. But big man, what is your tail of the tape?
Who, me? Bro, what can I say? I'm 2-0, undefeated throughout my whole career.
Whoa.
50% knockout rate.
That's what you
Half
did.
of the men that entered the ring with me, you know how they left the ring, bro? On their backs.
Oh my God. That's what you did, fam. Anyway, let's get straight into it, man. People, we need to, because the comments, there was a lot of comments.
Yeah, for real.
They showed love last week. We gotta put some respect on their names. And again, we apologize because the episode didn't come to you lot straight away.
Yeah, we had a late.
Yeah, it was a late release.
There was some tech issues, man. We apologize.
My technicals, but Kuda, I'm gonna say it off. Here you go. Kuda Natili says, "Nah, you lot trying to kill our silent listeners with these instructions, you know?" Because
oh snap! Yeah.
Got you.
We did a lot there still. All right. So George Ogoguruga, he came with some facts, bro. Because obviously, last week we were talking about protected or tested and all that kind of stuff. Now he's got a case against. He reckons he has a case against Floyd. 46-30. He goes, Floyd's entire career at welterweight was about fighting the right fights at the right time. So while it was against good fighters, it was also padded to some degree because those fighters already had been beaten several times. When it came time to fight, three boxers who might have been bad matchups, style-wise for him, Paul Williams, Margarito, and Amir Khan, Floyd retired for 2 years instead of fighting them. Let me break down his career at welterweight. Amir Khan shouldn't really be in that list about fighting him at that specific time, but let's go further. Zab Judah. Floyd fought him one fight after Zab lost to Baldemir, and Zab already had 4 losses by the time he faced Floyd. De La Hoya already had 4 losses and was at the tail end of his career, past his prime. Ricky Hatton looked shaky and vulnerable against Luis Calazzo, which was Ricky's first fight at 147. Hatton wasn't a 147 pounder and was a 140 guy. The only other 2 fights he had at 147, he lost them both against Floyd and Senchenko. Probably means to say Manny Pacquiao. Manuel Marquez moved up 2 whole weight divisions from 135 to 147 to fight Floyd. This was the first time he ever fought at 147, and he didn't even have a tune-up before facing Floyd, the pound-for-pound number 1. He also already had 4 losses going into the Floyd fight. Shane Mosley had been inactive for 17 months when Floyd picked him, which showed in the fight when he appeared to gas too early. Pacquiao was picked only after he'd been...
Fight, you know?
Say again?
Shane was all right in that fight, you know?
Shane was all right.
He covered himself in...
Pacquiao was picked only after he'd been KO'd by Marquez. Floyd didn't fight Pacquiao until someone else showed he could be beaten at welterweight. I'm going to let that one fly before I even contest it. Maidana after he'd already been beaten by Khan and Alexander. Berto after he had 3 losses already. Alvarez at 152 catch weight drained in green. Cotto after Pac had already beaten him by TKO. Oh, bro, this is what you call oversimplification. Like, shame, like it is, because Pacquiao, after he'd lost to Marquez, no, they tried to schedule that fight. That fight was actually announced and ready to go. And it was cancelled like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the fight because he didn't want to agree to drug testing. That's not the same. Maidana, like these guys who had their other careers, they weren't at a place to fight Floyd until a certain point. So if a man's career suddenly gets to a point where now you're in a Floyd convo and you've had those 3 losses, man can't just say to you afterwards and be like, you had 3 losses by the time you fought Floyd. Fam, Ricky Hatton was undefeated. Like, you can say what you're saying about Ricky Hatton's campaign at 147, but he was undefeated when he met Floyd. There was no blueprint on how to beat him. Pacquiao lost, but there was an attempt to already
make it. The Ricky Hatton one was a stretch.
Yeah.
And Alvarez believed in himself in that fight. He didn't go into that fight thinking that he had no chance. He went into that fight really saying, hey, I'm going to shock the world. Not even shock the world. He said, I'm going to win.
He thinks he's going to win, of course. Canelo, bro. He tried to like simplify that as 152 catch weight dreamed in green. Bro, Canelo was showing up to his fight at 170 pounds, fam. Like, he was fighting man at 147 and rehydrating to mad figures.
He was very, obviously, but the one thing he was very green, though.
We're saying green, but he had like 45 fights by the time he fought Floyd. Like, he was just young. He weren't green, bro. He'd been in them ropes.
Yeah, he's real. I call him very young, though.
So, yeah, and the De La Hoya,
I'm not covering it and saying, because I don't.
I'm not contesting every single fight here, but I'm saying the De La Hoya one, for example, again, Floyd wasn't at that level until he was at that level. So you only have to beat the guy who's at the top.
Not calling it, I won't call it cherry picking, but
I won't call it cherry picking.
There is some wins, and you're like, okay. Like, I don't really, the Shane Mosley one, I don't
element of strategic
that one in
the
a weird
fight. The Berto fight, that's tail end Floyd. That's the retirement. Like, I don't care no more. That might even have been a thing where it's like, I'm just trying to give you some peas. You want peas? Cool, they fight me. I think it might have been one of those arrangements.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And Cotto weren't like finished. Yeah, he lost to Pacquiao, but that weren't like succession fights.
Yeah.
Cotto had fought Margarito again. He'd avenged that fight. Like, he was at a different stage of his career. So I don't think these are oversimplified. Do you know what I mean? Floyd was still problematic for Zab Judah was still problematic for Floyd. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand there's an element of being strategic with your career, but that doesn't mean that these are cherry-picked fights. That's not the case. These are live fighters in there. And, you know, Marquez just saying that Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. So it's not like, you know what I mean, he's fought these nobodies. Like, what about the Corrales fight?
Bro.
You see what I'm saying? What about Maidana too? Like,
hey, you're really like, what you're reading comments.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah, no, but you know, that's a he took time to write a long comment. So
yes, he wanted to
give him some time to respond. So I don't disagree with, you know, someone being strategic with their career, but to say it's a padded career because some of those moments, like, you got a blip on your record, but by the time you come to fight me, now that blip is the shining example of why that's a padded fight. I disagree with that notion. But yeah, that's just how I feel.
We got Real Talk Boxing UK says Travis is the truth. Forget Teddy Atlas. Forget Max Kellerman. It's Travis time, bro.
Oh my days.
That's
do you know how rare it is for me to just get love? I get bare criticism, fam. So I appreciate that.
Here you go, Untraceable, fam. Was Untraceable there today?
He was there.
Yeah. A lot of fighters are beasts in between fights. I don't see him trying to knock AJ. Wait, he's talking about Tyson Fury. I don't see him trying to knock out AJ. He's talking about AJ has no foot movement on that. Oh, it's hard because the comment doesn't. I think he must have been arguing with someone.
He's commenting while he's watching. That's how he does it. So yeah.
All right, cool. Go on. You can do another one, and now
off the canvas goes. Big up you guys. I just wanted to say the British style of fighting doesn't facilitate or generate power, but rather hide behind the jab, good defense and decent footwork. The Mexicans are the complete opposite. So if your defense and jab is A1, they'll make you lips the isn't A1. Sorry, they'll make you lips the canvas. Keep up the great work, guys.
All right, wicked. Rajesh says, I'll be in attendance if there's an Undefeated podcast live for AJ Fury. I'm in Liverpool. I'm not sure I'll be welcome. Bulletproof vest. He said he's coming. He's supporting Fury to the end.
That is funny.
Nah, that's gonna. Oh, Travis. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fury is not 6'9". This is just one of his manipulations to intimidate opponents that the public has fallen for. David Price is slightly taller than Fury, and David Price is 6'8". Fury also has a picture with ex-basketball player Magic Johnson, who is 6'9", and he's almost towering over Fury. Fury is about 6'7.5", or just under 6'8". That's interesting.
That's interesting, but Only them two will know when they share the ring with each other. When I see them in standing to AJ in that photo, we'll know what time it is.
Do you know what? So, all right. So our pod page got a DM, right?
Yeah.
And this is I sent it to me today, and I thought it was interesting. I thought let's just read it out, all right?
Cool.
So it's from this guy called Lewis Amoa, right? He goes, I can't believe that Travis is still talking of his foolishness about Fury being chinny. He's never been knocked out. He's had a flash knockdown against Cunningham and got off the canvas from a man that knocked out every one of his previous opponents. AJ, in comparison, his chin is made of Wheatie Bix. He's in trouble every time he gets tapped on the whiskers. He spent more time on his backs against Ruiz, who couldn't punch his way out of a wet paper bag with a pair of scissors in his hands. I know this won't get read out because I'm not in agreement like the other cheerleaders, and I'm all for opinions, but then at least be consistent. I get it. You don't like Fury and love AJ, but don't talk no nonsense to make your bias right. The first time I just laughed it off, but I couldn't believe he's talking to Breeze about how Fury hasn't got a chin. Garbage. First of all,
okay, see, you know, and it's so mad, you know, because they have to say Travis because they know I'm there as well.
They always tell you, bro. Like, if I was blasting AJ, like, I don't think AJ fans would be getting on to me like this, but I don't know. It possibly, I'm on this side, isn't it? So, first of all, any criticism that anyone has for us here, understand it's getting read out. Don't think for 1 second that we shy away from the smoke like that.
All the smoke.
I'm always here for the smoke.
Come on, man.
Now, that DM got sent, like, copy of it got sent to me, yeah? And yesterday, as soon as I got it, I tweeted. I said, is it that flagrant to suggest that Tyson Fury is chinny based on the previous experiences? And I got a mixture of responses.
Okay.
People came back and was just like, well, I don't disagree with that. He's never been knocked out, but he goes down. Like, he goes, you're going to have to do a hell of a lot to nail him to the canvas, but he goes down.
Yeah.
Being chinny means you go down. Like, the reason why people say, oh, you got a granite chin or whatnot, is that man take a hell of a lot of madness. Look at Carl Froch.
Yeah.
Carl Froch, bro, you don't see this man down often like that.
Yeah.
Only the monster shots. Chris Eubank Sr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, these men do go down.
He's gone down. Chris Eubank Sr. has gone down.
But not with any type of regularity to the point where you go, right, he's always going down. Whereas...
now, wait. Now, how many times is Fury... Because you might be able to say the same, though.
All right, so let's look at...
Let's
see. Let me get some... Let me not
WADA,
forget.
you have to respect that going down to WADA. The whole world and their family members go down to WADA.
Yeah.
So that one is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you got the Cunningham one, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
hold on. There's a few. I'm just Googling now, just so I'm not guessing in it, so that way no one can surprise me in the comments with other information.
He might be chatting sense right now. And you might need to do a retraction and do a Drake level.
Because the reason why it's different is that Cunningham and these guys, Cunningham's like he's a cruiserweight, bro. So like I understand.
Power, though.
Say again?
Cruiserweights with mad power though.
Hold on a second.
Because Usyk ain't knocking Fury out. For no way. Do you know what I mean? There's sometimes you have these strong, powerful cruiserweight. Hey.
There's more. I just can't find it right. I don't want to. This ain't good viewing to be
right now.
Googling right now.
So at the moment, you might have to have a penciled in apology, bro.
No, there's more.
Useless.
There's more knockdowns.
Useless.
No. But you got to remember, like, when man's basing I'm saying those things, when people are putting you down and doing certain things that shouldn't be, then there's a case for you being chinny. The counter argument saying he's never been knocked out is a fair one. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
but I'm saying I'm with you.
Yeah.
However, the people that have knocked you down, so we're getting at the moment, there's 2 knockdowns, that we're really, and Wilder can knock out anyone. We know this,
There's another one here. Nevin Pashkick put him down earlier in his career. So there's more there. I just don't want to spend my time on camera for the podcast Googling. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is you might need to give my man an apology. Just what you do, sign into the undefeated.
All right, so let's analyze this. Let's analyze this. So let's look at AJ's knockdowns, right? So let's do the case. Let's do the case for both, right? Right, and let's do it in a fair way. Yeah. AJ's knockdowns.
Yes.
Klitschko, that big shot. that he landed. Ruiz.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
so
Cunningham and Wilder.
Cunningham, Wilder, this random who's this man? His name's Neven Pajkic. I don't know what else he did with his career. But there's a picture here right now with Fury on his back and him standing over him. So it's a real pick. It's a real situation. So there's moments like those, and AJ don't have those for me to be like, okay, cool. So because he's been down his chinny, I'm saying Klitschko goes down by men who are lesser than Stella. That's why I'm saying, okay, cool. If I say he's chinny, fine. That don't mean that he's getting knocked out. I'm saying he's going down.
He can go down, and that's to argue your main point.
That's what I'm
being a dickhead, in it. To argue your main point, chinny does mean that you go down. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you stay on the floor, but it means you go down. Amir Khan,
Amir Khan's a different case.
Amir Khan, sometimes he just wants to stay there. He wants to stay down.
But let's ask a real question now, though. Yeah, is AJ chinny? Because the Klitschko right hand that he landed, that put him down, that's a huge shot. Like, most men are going down by that. Does that make you chinny for going down? Like, it's the same with Wilder's right hand that landed. Most men are going to go down from that shot.
This is where it gets technical.
But Ruiz and AJ, you got hit high on the temple. Most men,
and he got up a few times. He did get up a few times, but he
got stopped on his feet, so he weren't out. It's a weird, dubious moment where he got stopped as well. So I'm like,
oh no, they needed to stop that one, bro.
I hear what you're saying. It probably was going to be more damage, but I hear you. But in terms of him being up and ready, saying, yeah, let's go, and then getting stopped because he was a bit hesitant coming forward, that's different than being out.
We both know AJ, like, he stopped the fight the way you're meant to stop that fight. You know, when you kind of like.
But like, another perspective on that though is if you're the champ, and you know your gum shield is out and the referee's there, do you reckon the referee's gonna stop the fight without putting your gum shield in? Like, it's a vet move to buy more time. I don't think it was necessarily. Yeah, that's us. I think he was trying to be cheeky and it didn't work out.
I think it was one of those. It still looks brave, but it doesn't look ridiculous. You know, like I look face. I say face. It's one of those.
Think you want it out?
Yeah, of course I did, man. You heard him. You saw him.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
One, but then again, if it depends how AJ Fury. If AJ goes down by a big hit from Fury, then will we be able to revisit this conversation?
No, but today, do you think AJ is chinny? No, like, if I say Fury is chinny, do you reckon AJ by that same degree is chinny? I don't. I feel like there is a difference.
And AJ's had some interesting opponents, even Takam and stuff, and he managed that one.
And I disagree with that guy saying that Ruiz can't punch his way out of a paper bag. Ruiz can punch.
Ruiz can fight.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Ruiz can fight. You
can't compare Cunningham to Ruiz. That's a very different level of fighter.
Again, I need to see more of. I don't know enough of Cunningham to really speak on his name to say anything.
He's a small guy, bro. Nothing special, like in a crazy world level. Like, that's.
But then, what's his
not to disrespect him?
What's his knockout ratio? Because sometimes you might not be special, but you might have incredible power.
All right. Yeah, let me get his box. Let me get his box rec up.
Yeah, man. We got
29 wins, 9 by KO, and he's naturally a cruiserweight. So make from that for what you will.
Useless. Absolutely useless.
I think there's a case to say manage.
I'm just saying that's not really powerful. I think there's now say that somebody's winning.
There's a case to say Tyson Fury's chinny. Simple as that. That don't mean that he gets knocked out, because he obviously hasn't been. But him going on the canvas ain't a surprise to the nation.
You know, I want my man to do. I don't know what his name is, but I need you to send a new message back to the undefeated DMs and say, big man, I'm sorry. Say him by name as well. He likes to be called Trevor when he's right. Say, yo, Trevor. And he will be
yeah, I'm like, bro. I'm telling you, bro, you know how much DMs I get when men say, oh, you just hate Fury, you just hate Fury, you just hate that. I'm like, bro, you man need to chill, bro. Because everything I say, I back it, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm allowed to have an opinion that's different to yours.
You're allowed. It's true. Do you know what I'm looking forward to in life, though?
What's that?
See when we finally sit down with Tyson Fury. Because one day it will happen. I believe it. Yeah. I'm gonna be smiling in that, boy. I'll be sitting there like, I might not even. I just be the moderator. Say, oh,
Cool. It's fine, bro. I'll be here for it.
yeah.
I'll be here for it.
You're gonna be looking. You see how you were feeling when Lennox was doing when we had our chat.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna be on. But anyway,
that's fine. I think I'll be able to hold composure, fam.
I hope so, bro. I hope so. I need to get into this, bro.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's start the pod. Let's hit the bell.
Shame. Yeah, we're just starting. Okay, so people, just letting you know, we've been podding for a minute, but we found just today it's our 2-year pod anniversary.
2-year podcast birthday, bro.
Come on, man. Happy birthday, Travis, man.
Happy birthday, fam. Do you know what I mean?
On, man. And
It's
all the men them behind the camera,
the scenes
that make this thing work, because it's
real.
not us, yeah.
Rubes, for Jules,
Yeah,
Wale.
Yeah.
It's not just us two, man. There's a proper unit here.
It's a mad unit, and we're working together, and a lot makes this happen, and we appreciate everyone that makes this happen. All the people, all the unseen hours that you don't see. There's a lot that happens to make this work. So I'm really thankful.
I'm proud.
Yeah, man. We hopefully Travis, man, hopefully we get up to 2K subscribers as well, man.
Thing is, like, do you know what it is? It's like people message all the time and they're like, oh man, I feel like you lot should have more subscribers and da. But you know what the ethos on this team is?
Yeah.
Catering to the subscribers that we have. Do you know what I mean? Like, people that take their time out to support us and watch our content, we do our best to go above and beyond to deliver the content and do as much and do more and think of new ideas and deliver more content, because we know that, right, you don't have to watch us. You don't have to support us.
It's
you see what I'm saying? You don't have to, bro. YouTube has bare options. So when telling you, so when bam.
Do you know what was a big moment for me? It was the 4-hour it was the 4-hour watch along. I couldn't believe it. Like that was when I was like, oh my god, like bro, we've got real core. Like the family that we got is crazy. We're looking for you, man. Are done for though, man. He's been missing for a minute. You noticed?
I know. What's going on, man?
Hope you're all right, bro. Done for. Hope you're all right, bro. Big up yourself, though, man. We'll send you a lot of love anyway. But anyway, bro, let's get into it.
Let's get into it, bro.
There's other stuff I want to get into. So let's quickly do the Josh Kelly thing. Do the Josh Kelly thing.
Where does Josh Kelly go from here?
Josh Kelly, for me, can I be honest? Can I be very honest?
Go on.
Can I be myself though? Can I come back to the
bro? Go where you need to go with this.
Josh Kelly,
for
me, allow it. Josh Kelly, it's time to pick another sport, big man. I'm done, because I know it. I saw, like, that night, I looked at it and I said, what can you do? How do you remember it's not like it, and it's not Wilder style. You know, we say, Wilder, go away, sit down, It's different. Wilder's still kind of dangerous. You're looking at Josh and you're saying to yourself, okay, go up in weight. You're going to be in trouble. You will get hurt up there. Yeah. And you don't want to have a dogfight. You don't want one of those. You want to box like, you probably would like a Mayweather type career, but you ain't as gifted as Mayweather. Or let's not even talk about Mayweather. You're not Roy Jones. You're not all these. There's people that he almost, when he steps into a ring and says he's gonna put on a show. I'm not getting a show from you, big man. No punch power. You can't get out of the way. And you don't like being pressured. These are all things that are gonna happen in a majority of boxing fights, especially at British. If you don't want to get pressured, British level, we're pressuring. That's what happens. There's people that are going to just bring the fight to you. What are you going to do? Can you look good enough to stay out of the way? And the funny thing is, you want to engage. How about that? You actually want to engage without engagement power, fam. This doesn't make any sense. None of the ingredient. If I'm cooking, we haven't got all purpose. There's no salt, bruv. All we got, water. Yeah? And I get water tastes good, but it's not a meal. Yeah, and right now you're not even looking starterish, fam. That's what I'm saying. It's looking like the olives that you get at Nando's, fam. You know you're
All
not
right.
there for the olives. That's
For
just
the
what I'm
flo-
saying, bro.
But
Go ahead.
this was his 12th fight.
Yes.
Yeah. So whilst some of the things you're saying, cool, there's some substance there. We can also look at it and say, all right, was this too soon? What merit is there for him to be fighting a European level fighter? There isn't any based on his CV.
Okay.
Yeah, he was rushed along for no reason other than his profile getting bigger and becoming more of a name, but nothing otherwise on his CV. So
like
we can say, yeah. So we can say, was it bad decision making from the management and everyone around? Because certain people on the team were saying this is too soon.
Now, Travis, I'll ask you this: if I've been trying to fight you for 3 years and I finally get a fight, is it too soon, or is it just about right?
No, the fact you were trying to fight him in the first place is too soon, regardless of however when the fight takes place. 2 years ago, this was too soon. He hasn't worked his way up and learned the things you learn in fights.
Okay, Travis, I'm saying to you that I've been looking for you for 3 years and I finally buck you. Yeah. Me, I've been talking your name for 3 solid years. So you know, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm looking for you. Yeah. This fight has been scheduled. It gets called off. It gets called off. Now we finally make it.
No, but you're missing my point.
I know what you're saying. Was it too? I get that. So there's
the whole opponent was too soon, not the fact that it took this long. It was too soon back then.
As soon as you, my thing is this:
Ray Robinson was too soon.
I'm hearing what you're saying. As soon as you grow, yeah. The problem with this game is if you start getting into like it's like I want to call it Wild West, but it's a jungle, yeah. And as soon as you start to posture to look like the king of the jungle, there's target on your back. People are gonna say, "I'm gonna take everything that's yours and make it mine." Yeah,
but the thing is, your management don't have to say yes to anybody's targets, anybody's challenges or whatever. So whilst things look a certain way, a man is chomping at the bit to get in the ring with you.
Yes,
that shouldn't have happened.
Yes,
he was rushed along. There's certain things that you look at him and say he still needs to learn. So
you're gonna have sink or swim moments, though, Trav.
But there's another element to all of this, yeah.
Come on.
Because the reason why these guys feel like this about him is because apparently he's an amazing fighter in the gym. So that means in behind closed doors, he's doing amazing things. So these men are coming away from that and going, "Oh my gosh, have you seen what he's done? He's done this, he's done that. This guy is amazing. Trust me, he's the one. He's ready to go right now because I saw what he just did there." Under the lights, different energy. Maybe he's one of those guys that has those issues.
And then no, but Trav, my thing is you got to keep the wolves at bay because they're coming. Avenisius is coming for him. And if someone puts a target on me like that, yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, I need to prepare for this guy. The same way we had the story of Lennox versus Tyson, and they're messing around. They say stop. You're not gonna fight one day.
Yeah.
Both fighters were aware that I have to prepare at some point for
this
you.
person.
Yeah, this guy's been calling me out for time, and he's finally sharing the ring with me. And you saw how much bad blood was going between the two sides. We can't go out like this. And we went out. There's no way to break it down. We went out bad. Yeah, the fact that I'm heavy, I look like I'm out of shape. Yeah, how about this, Travis? Let's really break this one down. Yeah.
Okay.
If Avenisius says, "We don't care if we lose the first 6 rounds. We know he's going to get tired." The fact that I have this extra knowledge and you haven't fixed my stamina in the 3 years, is that not a problem? Of course it is. I know everything that's wrong with you. I'm telling you, well, one person's playing checkers, bro. I've come to play chess. That's what they did. And the fact that you allowed us to do that is even worse. If we break this stuff down, you look at things and say, I don't understand what he's preparing for. You've seen this man. You haven't allowed this fight to happen. So we've not got this thing going. And now you've met him and you haven't shown me anything to say you were prepared for this fight. Fighting on the inside. When he decided to fight inside, what was that about?
Yeah, that was crazy because this is my thing is this year. Some like a trainer saying to a fighter what he needs to do, and it not being something you've worked on that he can do. That makes it bad advice. Do you understand? Because if I know you don't have that skill set to go inside and I tell you to go inside, I'm telling you to go in there and take a beating in a different way. And that, for me, now is why we have to start speaking about Adam Booth. We speak about the trainer.
I like the fact we're having an Adam Booth conversation.
Because look at this, the two situations here where a trainer's been under scrutiny. Tunde Ajayi, Anthony Yard. The first fight with Kovalev, we say, what happened there? What was the situation? Cool. There's a bit of reaction. Some people say, nah, get him out. Some people say, nah, they need to learn. Cool. They go again. They fight Lyndon Arthur. A jab. Similar type of issues posed by that game plan. Now the scrutiny is louder because it's the second time we've seen this. Nothing's changed. That's the conversation that is happening. It's the exact same situation in Booth right now, except they didn't lose to Ray Robinson, but Ray Robinson's fight showed a real issue that he cannot handle pressure like that, and there's a stamina issue. So after that speculation has happened, this fight has happened, and we've seen similar ingredients to why he now lost. Yeah? So now after his twice on the trot, the saving grace is the fact that the first fight wasn't a loss, it was a draw. Some people had it down as a loss anyway. But either way, that's an issue that weren't fixed. So now we're saying, can you fix this then? And if you maybe know how to fix it, can you fix it in him? Yes. Can you get the best out of him? Because coming after a trainer and criticizing the trainer after a fight is not saying that you're a rubbish trainer or you're not a good trainer. Now we're saying, are you the best trainer for him? Because Josh Kelly, right? Like a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, he fights like Hay, he's trying to fight like Hay, he doesn't have the power. It's a very simplified way. And a lot of people from the Monday Night Smoke show raised some good points that Hay in the amateurs before he met Adam Booth fought like that. Josh Kelly, before he met Adam Booth in the amateurs, he fought like how he fights now. So maybe their style hasn't been completely created by Adam Booth. But at the same time, your trainer should be the one to help you fill those gaps, right? When Lennox Lewis sat down in that documentary, he sat down with Emmanuel Stewart, after Emmanuel Stewart coached Oliver McCall to beat him, he said to him, how did you beat me? Yeah? What holes in my game? All right, let's go and work on those.
Now look at this. Now, and I'm hearing what you're saying, yeah? And Booth needs to come under scrutiny. The same way Tunde came under scrutiny anytime, even when AJ's trainer, when AJ lost, he was under scrutiny.
But Kraken, we were scrutinizing him.
This is normal. But now, but then why this is, I think why this is more glaring, and what Booth gets away with is Hay became a champion. You know, Hay went to the mountaintop. So he still got money in the bank. Like, you got in the bank, but it's like, can you do it again? They say that about like creators and stuff. Like, if someone steals your material, Trav, can you write another banging joke? If you're a good comedian, you can.
That's right.
You know, that's standard. And my issue, the biggest problem that I have is Avenesius and the coach. If they can tell you before the fight, listen, after 6, you lot ain't got nothing. And stamina, let's say the talent is there. Stamina, you can work that. I feel that's something that's just down to hard work and training.
No, not always. You know, some people just don't have the engine.
Really?
Like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Had some issues with his lungs. Why he wasn't he weren't no 12-round fighter. He had some type of asthma or something with his chest, but just didn't have it just naturally worked.
You can never build that up. You can.
Some people, they just don't have the tank.
Then you got to ask yourself. So where do you say, where does Kelly go from here? I say another sport, fam. I said that, and
no,
I'm being harsh. When they
I think we are too early to have these condemnations, like predictions on Kelly's career and where he can go. I think after this experience, the next Kelly will show where he can go and what will happen. Because if he comes back from all of this and he's exactly the same, then we say that's you.
It's not even taking a piss, yeah. North Bank Bren came on the show, yeah. Family of the pod, yeah. He came on the show and he was talking about amateur experience, yeah. And all of this is damning, yeah. It's all mad. Of his amateur fights, no knockouts. They say even in the amateur game, yeah.
I'm looking at it now as well. It's mad.
In the amateur game, not a single knockout, bro. That's not, you don't, like, how does that happen? How was that happening? Like, how?
And it's interesting because, like, you look at some fighters, like for example, someone like Eubank Jr., right? People scream that he doesn't have power, right? He doesn't have one punch KO power, but he has power that can hurt you.
Yeah, and he let someone knock people,
and he can knock, and he can knock people out. He can. Yes, it's just not super likely at a certain level. Like Avni Yildirim, boom, out 168. Eubank Jr. is a 160 fighter. Realistically, got him out of here. Now, people think that you need knockout power in order to be in at the top level. No, you need power to keep your opponents honest and respect you. If they feel your punches and go, nah, I'm getting closer to this.
Yeah.
It's a very bad sign all the time.
They're walking towards you like Triple G, fam. Just constant, just walking you down. You don't want that. You want to know that. I touched that. And I'm like, I don't know. Again, Tiafimo versus Lomachenko. Yeah, Lomachenko wasn't trying to walk the way he wants to walk. He felt some power. He said,
I don't need this.
I don't need this.
It made him take 7 rounds off.
There you go. So you got to make them think, I've tasted the worst of you. What can I do? Now, people are saying to themselves, you can't hurt me. At any point, can you hurt me? And that's naughty. That's not good enough. And what's sad for me is we're talking about Conor Benn fighting, and you could see Conor Benn was upset that night because he's thinking to himself, I knew how bad this guy was. There's a reason why Conor Benn was calling out Josh Kelly the way he was. He could see it. He could see the chinks in the armor. Even when he said, this is what I've known about him. You know, he's almost like, I was going to expose this, and this guy's done it first, which now says that's a problem. So I know what you talk about. It's not every fighter, I say, because we've seen Del Boy come again after some bad nights and this, that, and the other. But we're talking about when you just don't even, what do you have that can make it work? That's the question. What does he have, Trav? Does he have anything that you like?
I think he's a talented fighter. Like, he's got good evasive head movement at times. Like, there's times when he gets tagged because he commits to showboating quite too regularly for my liking. But the ingredients that he has can make something good.
But right now they've been arranged. When you say ingredients, I just say ingredient, like one thing, because you can say that he can move a bit, and I will argue saying I don't know how good he moves.
He got decent. I don't know. He can move a bit. Yeah, he can move a bit, man. Like when he's fit, early rounds, for example, he rarely gets outboxed and looks stupid. It's usually the late stage of the fight where it all comes apart. So if stamina is his issue, where it's like, okay, cool, forget knockouts, get that off your mind and prepare for 12 rounds every fight.
That's what I'm saying, and that's where you can. So it's someone's fault, yeah. It's either Booth doesn't train.
It's a huge responsibility on the fighter as well, because at the end of the day, you know the shots you're going to end up feeling if you're not prepared. So whilst we do look at the coaches in the same way we look at football managers, we've got to look at the players. We've got to look at the man that gets in the ring.
Yeah,
and he has to know that I can deliver this. And if he's looking at his performances and equating that to being I'm ready, that means there's a delusion taking place somewhere in the chain. And if man around him are blowing smoke up his ass, something needs to change.
But let's say his stance, even his stance isn't working. There's so many things that you say to yourself, how do we fix all of this? You know, when you get a car and you say, you know what, let's write it off, fam. Sometimes you get a car and you're like, I gotta fix that, gotta fix this, gotta fix that. Yo, stamina, I gotta fix that. Hey, gasket, I gotta fix that. Bro, everything needs to be fixed with this thing, bro. Certain times it's like, I just want a new whip.
What are you saying? He spent $250 on the whip?
You know, you've had that punto. We've all had that punto, yeah?
Them auto trader whips.
The auto trader, bro. There's always a new issue, bro. The carburetor's gone. Bro, I don't even know about cars, but you know when you have a bad car and then you start to learn about things. Yeah? You're like, oh, man, the cam belt. What's wrong? What is the cam belt, fam? Now everything's going. And when I look at this fire, I say to myself, you've got so much to fix and you're there's sharks. You're swimming in amongst sharks and you will get hurt. And the other day, he got hurt. That cut, and I don't think he could make the adjustments to solve that. That was one of my issues, and I understand, like, these guys are warriors. anyone that gets in the ring, I've never been in the ring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So anyone that gets in the ring, you're a warrior. Boom, big up, ratings, congratulations. Boom, round of applause. Then we have to get real. Yeah.
I think I
There's
really
other
do.
warriors around you, bro.
I think he's young enough to come again, though. He's only 26. There's still energy in that machine left to go. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a case of getting it right because Lennox been knocked out before.
I believe you, but we know
You
what.
understand?
Sometimes
I hear you. I do hear you. I do hear you, but it's one of the things where it's like it depends what work he does now.
All right.
This will define his career. If he bounces back from this and shows improvement, they will say, okay, there's life in this thing yet.
Yeah.
If not, then we start to say, okay, maybe you're just a limited fighter. Stay around the domestic division and try and make peace.
And just make some peace. Yeah, but listen, I hope I'm wrong because I always want to see.
I like him, so I'd like to see him prevail. And I still want to see Ben Kelly, but I want it to be competitive. I don't want to see it when I know the outcome.
Right now, I want to see.
Not right now, nah. Yeah.
I want to see Ben Avenisian.
So what are we saying about Ben Avenisian, though?
I need to see it.
Yeah, that's a fight still.
Marku. Marku gets a lot of my respect. I watched the highlights back.
Yeah, same.
And I said to myself,
I liked his post-fight interview as well as performance.
There you go. You gotta have that moment with boxing when you say, I like
Alan Babich the Savage.
Yeah.
That happened his first post. The first time I heard this man speak, I was like, yeah, I'm a fan, bro. Are you mad? This guy here?
Yeah. And you got
why they say I'm too small? I said, yeah. I'm involved. Love that gusto.
And it was what Marku did the other day was he was like, you guys have been talking about me. I'm gonna show you I'm a boxer.
You lot saying I can't box. You lot saying
you
this and that.
Can't. And this Travis, this is it. And this, I don't want to use this light to almost. Well, I'm going to. Yeah. Marku got into a scrap. You see, after he went down, and he said, "Listen, boxing, let's allow it. We're in war now." Yeah. And he made an alteration, and he said, "This is what I need to do." So certain times, let me show I can box. Yeah. This ain't working. I'm gonna switch to something else. This is a thing that I never saw from Kelly. Yeah. This is a thing that, so again, it's not to be, and I hate it when it happens when a fighter loses and then people are like, he's rubbish. But then sometimes we got to say to ourselves, where do we go?
No, but you got to remember, look at what happened when AJ lost to Ruiz.
Yes.
We did it all. We broke it down. This needs to happen. Is he too big? Is the muscles a problem? Is the training now limited? Does he need to go elsewhere? Has he ever shown versatility? What happens when he can't knock someone out? Yeah. These were conversations that happen.
But then we liked the raw. He came back. Yes.
He came back to and outboxed Ruiz.
There we go. But we like the raw tools that he has.
We like the raw tools.
We never said to ourselves that AJ is probably one of the best finishers in the game, bro. When it comes to finishing, we say there's things I can say so many attributes which I can say is great about AJ. Yeah, I can say what his signature punch.
But it was that loss that taught him versatility. Because otherwise, he had no reason to try and learn how to box.
That's true.
Now, this is why I say Josh Kelly is at that crossroad where he can make a decision how his career is going to go the rest of the way.
All right,
that's all I'm saying. Because
all right, cool.
Like AJ could have just literally been like, all right, come back in again. I'm just going to try and blow him out quicker. And now he's that dude that if you clip better, and he thank you.
He did better. But then he has to make some key decisions then, because the same way we're talking about changing trainers for other fighters,
he's not going to change.
He can't do fighting with in his other boost style.
No, but if you that's right. He needs to be a more technical fighter to prevail with no power. Like if you're not gonna get rid of Adam Booth and you have that connection where you don't want to part ways, bring somebody into the camp like our AJ did.
Freddie Roach likes a bit of power though. But he does like a quick fighter, someone that can stay. Roach.
I wouldn't say Roach.
No.
Kelly, if you don't have power, you need to be able to defend, and you need to be able to establish something that's a consistent presence in the ring. Your boxing ability, you're winning rounds, you're not taking much punishment, and you're staying in the mix without, because if you can't hurt him, you're going to have to win the rounds. So your whole approach to boxing has to change somehow.
Man. Still back to Marku though. Marku versus Conor. What do you say? I
still like Conor in that fight.
Yeah,
but I don't have it down as a definitive thing.
There you go. I like
that. That's it.
I like that. It just depends. My thing on that fight, it depends how far Marku can draw him in. If he's got draw out abilities, it could be it'll be.
But if he draws Ben to a scrap, Ben can scrap.
I know he can.
Yeah,
but they both can.
They both can scrap. It'll be a firework fight, bro.
I want to see it now. Yeah. I want to see it because it's like.
But to be fair, to be fair, the same can be said for Ben. I was gonna say, to what degree can Marku scrap? Like, who's he scrapped? Like, with no one that we can name, but who's Conor Ben scrapped? Like, I understand he fought the last guy that apparently he's gone 12 with Porter, but at the same time, it's like it's not really the same though, because he wasn't a big banger. So
we hate to say it, but the level is similar. And
Conor's hair, Marku's just hair. That's the difference.
That's fair. And I think them two can get on. And now that Kelly fight's out of the way, Marku, I don't want to call him boxer.
I think Conor Ben's called out. I think Ben's called out Evanesian though.
Oh, he has.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I'm just Googling that now to confirm it.
It makes sense. How did he call him out at the fight as well?
What's that?
Did he call him out while he was ringside as well?
No.
I think he was still trying to get over what happened to Kelly, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I know. Marku obviously tried to call him out as well. The thing is, it's funny though, because Marku called him out, yeah, and he kind of responded like, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, he's supposed to do that. These young guys and da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, when you're looking at someone, it's like, you're not that far ahead of him to speak like he's like a youth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird one. It's like Pro Grace called out Adrien Broner after his fight, and he said the same thing, these young guys and da-da-da. And I'm looking at it thinking, no, Pro Grace might beat you still. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Marku necessarily beats Ben, but at the same time, it's like, it's still a fight you could take. Like,
I'm gonna call it 60-40 Conor, just because. But then there's a part of the fight where I don't think Conor Ben's got like his dad's power in it, and he's not him. We've said many times, which we said many times.
He does have keep you honest power though.
Yeah, no, he got to keep you honest power. But I'm saying
if his boxing continues to get better, then I reckon we'll have a significantly rounded fighter. He boxing first, but can scrap.
He could outbox Marku, is what I'm saying. If he wanted to if it's like quickly deal with this fight and keep it moving, be on your journey, he could outbox him, I believe. But I know he'll be brought into a fight just because of how Marku goes about it, how he tries to wind his opponent up. Him talking to
someone like Ben. Oh my gosh.
Him doing talks, to someone like Ben will drive him crazy.
Ben and his dad, they both have that switch where it's like, who's this guy think he is? Like, and you see it because they lead with their emotions. Yes. They lead with their, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it wouldn't be too hard to ignite Conor Ben. Because even when people say to him about, the silk sheets, you can't train, you look at the response. Who says you can't train? I'm still smashing it in the gym, doing numbers in the gym, crushing it. And I'm just like, yeah, because those words get to you.
There you go. So
it's not hard to get to him.
You can imagine he's got his back Marku up onto the ropes, and Marku just gets into his TED talk.
I tell you what the moment would be. Conor Ben lands, boom, and then Marku just goes, "Is that all you got? You're right. You can't. They're right. You can't hit that right there. Understand?
That's it. And all it goes out the window. And that's the only place where I say where it gets sticky. That situation gets sticky, and when it's there, I honestly can't call it, because every time, who was he fighting? He was fighting a guy called Charlton. Every time Charlton was trying to fight in the middle of the ring, he looked like he was taking pain. Like when they started to trade middle of the ring, I said, "Whoa, this guy Marku can bang."
Yeah,
he can bang. You know what I mean? There was many times that I thought Charlton was getting wobbled in within just boxing, normal boxing trades, you know. So again, it's not as simple as we think it is. But this is what I really want to talk. I can't believe we're 49 minutes.
I know.
Talking about Dylan. This has to go over, by the way.
Yeah, 100%. This is a 2-year pod.
It's the 2-year pod. All right, bro. Actually, you start because I've got things.
Okay,
Dylan,
cool.
Dillian
Whyte.
What's going on with Dillian Whyte? Go on, Travis.
I don't know what's going on with Adrien Broner. Should we be concerned? Like, first, all right, let's look at the activity. Yeah, Mark Tibbs, the redemption part of his career, 10 straight wins. It's looking good. He's for some reason decides he wants to go with someone else. Yeah,
For some strange reason.
Xavier Miller steps in. Cool, new debut, new trainer, still looking good, new boxing, great new jab, knocked out. We didn't say, whoa, what happened to Mark Tibbs? That would never have happened under Mark Tibbs. We do all of that.
Yes.
So now
Xavier Miller hears our words, by the way.
Xavier Miller hears our words.
Yeah, he hears our words, and
that's right.
And we're looked at because you can't forget these things, bro. I remember everything because we came out strong and said
wrong, bro.
We came out very strong. We said
Mark Tibbs fired by email. Insane. Not even direct, you know. The lawyer.
There you go. And we
it's
said
it's all wild.
There we go. We said a gun guy. There we go.
Right. We said Mark Tibbs. We said Mark Tibbs was not prepared to let his fighter go, no matter how you dice it. Yeah, he loves his family, but that's a working man. He's gonna show up to camp. Anyway, here we are now. The knockouts happened. We're looking at Portugal camp. He's been in camp since the fight, quite literally since the fight. All right. New trainer now. New trainer added to the fold. So we're not giving Xavier Miller.
Just pause it. I need you to stop there. Yeah, because we know us. Look, I call us the kings of speculation. Yeah, we have to speculate and understand what happened. What was he? Yeah, because this trainer, by right, them man have been in Portugal since the
loss.
We need to let's do our work. Let's do our homework. Can you tell me when he lost, please? Let's quickly go back. Let's go back when he lost. Because
let me get the date. Let me get the date.
Yeah, this is key. And then while you're doing that, I need to try and see when this Lennox coach joined the camp.
So that last fight was the 22nd of August.
22nd of August. Yeah.
We are now in March for the rematch.
Yes.
We're now in February, but March is the rematch. End of March.
Yes. This is mad.
So that's a long time.
5 months,
in camp.
Bro. We've been in camp for 5 months plus. Yeah, it's going to be 6 months in March. He's been in camp for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
A long camp. Yeah, it's the longest camp I've ever heard of. Yeah.
I just hope he's not burned out.
We'll get to that. Cool. In that camp, yeah, at some moment, they said, maybe month 4. Hey, yo, I don't know, you know.
I don't know about this, brother, still.
Should we get, like, some other eyes? Because
let's get some help.
We've been here for a couple months.
But even in that fight against Povetkin, they're saying that he weren't even really trying to be vocal in the corner. Like, Caldwell was talking more than Miller. So then you start to say, maybe the occasion was too big for him. Maybe he couldn't handle the pressure. And maybe they've seen that in the camp and now they're thinking, we're going to bring someone else in. I like you, don't get me wrong, but I want someone else here as well.
But then now we have problems because now on Speculation FC, this is where we are. Yeah. I imagine you got to bust it down. You got to bust down the P's. Yeah. Trainers get paid. Now, there's a lot of cooks. Yeah. Mark Tibbs, I don't know how much Mark Tibbs will take in because we don't know this side of boxing.
Yeah.
But now there's like 3 man. There's Xavier. Xavier's probably taking a smaller piece of the pie because he hasn't. He
ain't done too much. Yeah.
He hasn't done too much. So we can say, you know what? Like, we'll give you the experience. We'll pay you via your experience.
Yeah. You might hold a 9%.
And I might have like 6 still. Yeah, because you're here and you never know. If you trade me and I do well, you get your own gym, bruv. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them thingies. And remember when we started doing shows and they said, yo, for the exposure, fam. See?
Oh, they give me exposure peas.
So when you get the exposure piece, that's real in boxing. So then you got one man there for the exposure piece. Then you got Caldwell. He's not free. Yeah? That's not free.
Yeah.
Break it down. Yeah? And we've been training for 5 months. Yeah? So now we brought in a legend. Well, it's where you're linked to a legendary name. It's still valuable. It's still valuable. So you step in now. I need to get paid too. Don't you say to yourself, wasn't it easier to just leave this money with Mark because there's nothing wrong with my game?
Well, this is the thing, because then you've got to say to yourself, all right, was there an issue? Because this guy is brought in, Harold the Shadow Knight is a former co-trainer of Lennox, right?
Yes.
So what is he looking for? What makes you bring in that type of trainer? Right? You want experience, isn't it? Right? You might be satisfied with Xavier Miller and the stuff he's saying, but there's a part of you that thinks in the corner you're gonna go quiet again. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how to rumble at this level?
Yeah.
Because for you to reach out to a Lennox affiliate, that shows there might be a commitment to growth that doesn't come with loyalty to the trainers. Some can say Lennox ain't shown super loyalty to the trainers because he was on a quest to be great. Do you know what I mean? So there's ways to look at it, because I don't necessarily think that trying to be a ride or die partnership with your trainer is the best way to approach your boxing career. I just don't think so.
Would you swap trainers?
Would I swap trainers?
Yeah.
100%. If I felt the need, if I felt stagnant in my progress and I'm working hard, absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to ask you the same question and answer it. Try and answer this honestly as possible. Would you change trainers after 10 straight wins and you've looked better in each fight?
There's no reason to change as far as I can see with those outcomes. Unless, somebody in Monday Night Smoke highlighted the Marius Wack performance. Yeah. And how he looked in that.
But come on, that was the long he went through the beast.
It was a long layoff. It was a long layoff. I understand. But we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. And also a big part of a partnership like that is the personal relationship. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if that breaks down, everything else breaks down. There's a part, I was reading David Hayes' biography,
yeah. And
there was a camp for the fight he had with the French cruiserweight champ I think that was the first undisputed or one of the main belts at cruiserweight. Marc St. Pierre, I think it was.
Okay.
Anyway, in the camp for that fight, him and Booth was not seeing eye to eye at all, bruv.
Yeah.
I'm talking, my man was out training, I think it was in Spain, training on his own. Booth would come, and it would literally be a case of Booth coming to watch man train from the side, and he's just working out, and they're not speaking. The vibe weren't there. Do you know what I mean? So he's training for the fight, and all that's going on, and then suddenly they have a combo, and it gets right. But sometimes in camps with the track, it breaks down. It doesn't get right. It just changes, and it's not the same. And now I don't trust you. I don't really want to hear what you got to say. I don't even like when you come in the gym. As soon as you come in, now my mood is off.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about, even when you mentioned Booth, has him and Hay reconciled? Are they close again? Because I found it very weird. Yeah, I know Booth didn't want to train Hay when he came back for Bellew, but even that felt weird for me.
He didn't want to train him from before that. He parted ways. I think it was after the Chisora fight. Because I think it's always a tough part in any fight, any coach's journey, where they have to say to a fighter, I can't train you anymore because I don't believe you have it. Do you know what I mean? I think it was one of those where he's like,
seen them sharing the space together. I've not really seen them together, considering how much what they did together.
I reckon they're probably good now that Hayes retired, but I don't think they would have been before, because I think how he's come across, especially the stuff, anything I've read and the stuff I've known, that's someone who they believe what they believe. So I imagine you do fall out with someone who says that I don't think you have it and I don't want to be a part of it. Yeah. For me, we're not friends now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think it was one of those. And I think maybe in mature years, unless things went bad on a personal level, otherwise I can imagine they must be cool now. If not, then it's what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, on me on Dylan, And sorry, let me give Xavier some love. The way Dylan was fighting that night, it was impressive. Yeah, it was impressive. I was very impressed. And had he got no knockdown when it was time, had he taken care of business when it was time to take care of business, we would have said Xavier as a coach, as a trainer, has arrived. We would have said that because a lot of raised eyebrows. Eyebrows are raised when he switched. You know, and the fight was going well until it didn't. And again, in sport, fine margins. You know, and once again, fine margins, and now there's 100 trainers in the camp because of what's happened. You know, so you say to yourself, I feel for him. Honestly,
I think there's some anxiety there. I think there's some anxiety there, which makes you bring another trainer as well. I don't think it's as simple as he's explaining it, because he likes to, you know, it's just a boxing match. These things happen, and you know, I took my eye off the ball for a minute, and da. No, I don't think it's that simple for them. I think there's something going on in the camp where they're like, yo, anxiety says, let's bring this guy in as well because he worked with Lennox. Let's bring this guy in because, you know what I mean, there's just more back in here. Like, obviously, we can't lose this fight. So we need to do every single thing that we can.
You're right. I think what's happened now is Dylan's even more, and this is, I don't like when fighters in this position. Dylan's more aware of what's to lose. You know, it's
That's
now.
Right. That's right.
It's got to that point. It's now or never. If I don't win this fight, because
if he loses this fight, do you know how bad that is for any title shot? Oh my gosh, bro!
In line, bro. When he talk about heavyweights, his name was up there with the Mandem.
He didn't need to fight Povetkin.
Next in line, and now because he went for that, because he took that fight, we're here. I can't believe it. So he's saying to himself, if I lose again, especially to the uppercut, how? What do I do? Do I become the gatekeeper? Do I become new Jura, and then heavyweights just fight me on their way to greatness? And it can't be that. I really don't want that for him. So I actually need Dylan to get it done against Povetkin because I like Dylan. You know what I mean? I think I met him and his brother at a show I met them. You know what I mean? Yeah, I met them at a show in Birmingham still. I was doing one show for Derob.
All right, yeah,
because they're friends, innit?
That's right.
Yeah. I met him then.
They was at the fight with AJ and was on the Russian ring into the ring business.
them man. Yeah, so and it was 10 still, but lucky I was fighting that night in it, so they let me chill with them, man, and stuff. I came over there. Yeah, it was crazy. But it's mad. I really would like to see Dylan just get his chance. But the saddest part about it is I wanted him to the fights I wanted him to get, they're not available anymore.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to see if there was anyone that wanted to see fight Wilder, it was Dylan. And I fancied Dylan against Wilder. I thought that would have been amazing. And now it's like
it's very, very muddy waters.
It's sad, man. But again, Dylan, all the best. I think your biggest mistake, though, was getting rid of Mark. And I hope that later on in life, we find out exactly what happened for you to walk away. But I really hope it's not over something stupid.
Same here.
I really hope so.
All right, let's move on. So Adrien Broner fought this weekend.
Yep.
And, you know, we're touching it quickly. But he got a very controversial win in some people's eyes. Like, winning on points, do you know what I mean? And it's like he won for example, the first round. He didn't land any punches and he won the round. Like, I understand, he's going to be the money fighter in that fight. So you look at it like, Adrien Broner, he's not the perfect fighter, but he's always good value for money. Mm-hmm. But what the hell, bro? Like, the punch stats that's been floating around, they're not close. They're not close at all, bro. We're talking like his punch landed is like in the 90s, and my man's in the 200 and something. And I'm like, this is crazy, bro.
You know what? Certain times it's who you know in boxing, innit? I heard Teddy Atlas said it the best. He needs to be sending birthday cards, Christmas cards. He needs to send the card at every single holiday, because you can see that. I don't know. I don't really know our Heyman in it, but there's a reason why he gets thanked before God and before your family. Yeah. And if you can throw no punches and be up on the scorecards, that's the kind of power that I need to be wielding in boxing. You know, like when you don't throw anything and they say, you know what, score it 10.
Telling you, 10-9. Yeah, that's how I saw it. Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Just on AB quickly.
Yeah.
It's so weird because I feel like the sport needs AB.
The sport needs an AB.
It needs AB. It needs AB.
It doesn't have to specifically be him. It just needs someone who plays that position.
Have we got another one at the moment?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Which is why.
Yeah.
Which is why there's still space for him to. But when there's another one, a younger one, it's over. And that's why he needs to start taking his career seriously. It really frustrates me watching him fight because I thought he was really talented. When I first laid eyes on him, I thought, oh my gosh, the next Floyd. Yes, this is what we need. And I started realizing he's the blueprint for a lot of modern era Floyd imitators.
Yes.
Where young fighters imitate old Floyd.
Yeah.
And they miss out young Floyd. And I look at it and I looked at it and I was just like, oh man, you move just like Floyd, the shell, and you know, you pick your shots and it's da-da-da-da-da. And then you start realizing you actually don't have any other gears. You literally only can do that. And it's one of the ones where it's like he's in competitive fights certain times and he can win those fights. He just doesn't let his hands go. And I don't understand why. Maybe there's a mental block because I don't know if it's stamina issues. He's always good for 12. He's always there in the 12th round with like good energy. Got a good chin, takes a shot, bang. Like, obviously he's been like put down by Maidana, but he was there in the 12th. He hurt Maidana in the 12th. He's always there in the end. He just can't keep it going. And I'm like, how do you not see what you're doing? I think because he doesn't change his corner, like I think his corner is the same anyway. He's one of those people that I see the way he talks to his own trainer. He is another Wilder, just a small Wilder.
You know what's so funny though?
In that camp.
When you're talking now, I was thinking of all the people in boxing that I want to interview. In my top 3, Adrien Broner, I would love to have a conversation.
Yeah, that'd be.
I want to understand. That's he's one of those people that I say there's more going on here. You know, there is, because he alluded to something. He said, "Listen, keep me active. I get into trouble without this boxing thing. Keep me active. I'll show you. I'll get better. I need to stay active, or I'm going to end up." You saw the situations I was in, and it just said it talked to that thing about structure that he's looking for. It spoke. There's so many things that I spoke to. It said I can't. He's almost like I don't trust myself in this game without what boxing allows. And you can see that there are different things. He's the most, probably he's very interesting. I find him like, I love to talk to him. Him, it's the fighters that put up a lot, like there's a lot of bravado. There's a lot of, I like to talk to Hay.
Yeah, same.
Love to talk to Hay. You know, there's different fights and all the fights.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this as well. I get it. I get it.
Like, I want to understand. Let's go behind it and let's see behind the man. Who are you? You know what I mean? And where have you been let down, or what's gone wrong to bring us to this point? You know, and a lot of them have something in common. You know, it's just that little piece. Is that because you could be great. The funny, and again, we saw, David Hay was the AJ before AJ, but he didn't finish it. Like AJ's finished, like he's got it. Like and when I talk about, I feel like,
I understand exactly what you're saying. I think with Hay, it was a combination of circumstances. Like I think is a bit of luck wasn't on his side body wise.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of talk now, especially like North Bank Bren phoned in and he said there's a commonality with both fighters. They're always injured. Something to do with their training process. And he's like, George Groves mentioned something about his training and stuff like that. And I reckon someone like Hay relied on his athleticism more so than his boxing IQ. He never really was the outbox you type of fight. He was literally, I'm too fast, I'm too powerful.
He was accurate though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he relied athleticism and in fact natural gifts. I'm too fast, I'm too powerful. I don't care how good you are at boxing, I will catch you. So that was that style doesn't age well, which is why old Hay had issues. But when you're peaking your body to such high level of athleticism, it breaks down. It can break down. And I'm thinking that was more of Hay's issue because he never really rounded his game until it was too late. Well, to be fair, I don't really feel like he rounded his game. He was always David Hay. He just did what he did better than anybody else could stop it.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was on his way, but how he's managing his body, he's still a small heavyweight. And heavyweights were suddenly getting bigger. Klitschko's come along, and now Hay, who's 6'3", is now no longer your typical heavyweight size. He's now thinking, all right, I'm small, and my body is on the brink of being able to operate.
Yeah.
He was always floating with bad luck. And I think that's what happened with Hay more so than him just, you know what I mean, not working hard enough or doing what he needed to do.
I wouldn't say he doesn't work hard enough, but then again, even there's that playboy lifestyle part of Hay that has been there. You know, we can't pretend that it's not.
But it wasn't, it was party lifestyle, but it wasn't like alcohol and all that kind of stuff.
Oh no, he's the ultimate professional. I'm talking about the girls, when he talked about when him and Belly were talking, Belly would always mention the fact that, you're just at the club, mate. Like, you're meant to be fighting me. I'm trying to get home to my wife and kids. That's what his line is. He's trying to get home to his wife and kids, and you're in the club just having fun.
Being the man.
Yeah, you're in the club being the man. Like, look at him. He's all the stuff that, and then I was just thinking, and he's talking about just how he's spending his money. Like, there was so much that was being said in the shots that were thrown. He's saying,
what it was as well to that effect. Obviously, Caldwell, I think, was with Hay at one point. Wait, have I got that wrong? I think I might have got that wrong. Anyway, I'm not too sure. But Hay went through a big divorce, and that's not like, secret information. That was in the papers and all that kind of stuff. So we know divorce does a madness to a man's peace.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it coincided to the comeback. Do you know what I mean? Now, when Hay came back from the layoff, he had reconstructive surgery on his back. Man, I mean, the write-up when he did his retirement statement, he started talking about, I come out the thing 2 inches taller. What?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So him fighting again at all was a celebration. Yeah. Because what he went through to come back was enough. So that's why when he did those fights on Dave, the network, that's what he was just glad to be back in the ring. So he was clearly on a money grab. I don't think he ever believed he could have beat AJ for real.
So if it was a money grab,
but that's why the Bellew fight was like, he took it because like, this is easy peasy. I should be able to just beat you.
But why? This is the one thing that I always wondered, because you could have made more money fighting Shannon the Cannon.
Nah, you wouldn't have made more money.
You don't think there was real interest for that?
There was not. What, pay-per-view? Nah, I don't think so. Remember, Shannon was old at that point. So man are looking at old Shannon.
I know what you're saying, but the
build-up would have been there. But you got to remember, Tony Bellew was in with the Sky Sports camp. He was all of that. That's more money there. Shannon Briggs is interesting, but it's not. Even if you win, it's like there's no need to give you big money for that, bro.
And they did promise him Hay in that next. If he dealt with Bellew, he would have been on the Hay.
AJ would have been there.
Sorry, AJ. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, because he was calling out AJ, and everyone was getting.
Everyone would have been in. There's a lot of fights there for him. Because remember, he even done that one, and he would win against. Remember, one was winning
AJ. Fam, I'm telling you, and there was a big part of me that thought to myself, AJ's still green enough for someone like Hay to do it, because I'm the memories. Whereas I looked at what Hay gave Bellew, and I'm like, that off balance business. That's because the foot was gone.
That would have been so upsetting if AJ.
I wouldn't have wanted to see him go out like that. No way. How he went out, was bad, but it would have been a whole lot worse. Because remember what? Yeah, I don't even want to get into the Hay and Bellew fights because I can talk about that all day.
Go
So
on.
Craig Richards, Bivol.
You know what? I don't know who called in today. Base. It was
Base
Base.
the kid. Yeah.
Base says today he makes up and it made me. I stopped thinking. Because one, it's very difficult for me because again, Craig is a friend, but he's a friend from before I even knew what this boxing thing was. Yeah. So it's weird. And then he said something. He goes, Eddie Hearn's not looking after this man. Yeah. And he said that. And I remember saying that myself at one point. When he threw him in with Buglione, I said to myself, oh, like, you don't do that. Little notice. You give him time, like, but then I said to myself, well, he just doesn't see. He's got Joshua Boatsy. So Craig Richards is not going to be afforded. Let's say right now, you don't put Boatsy in with Bivol right now.
There's no reason to do that. He just got the British.
There you go. You don't do it. So I went thinking about. I've not thought about that till Base said it. But then there's a part of me that says, you know what?
But actually, there is a reason why you do that. Craig Richards is 30 years old right now.
Yeah.
And turning 31.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for those reasons, Craig pushes for that fight.
I understand.
Do you know what I mean? Because you could take the route of, you know, a couple European ones and I still feel like that fight could happen this year. I just think towards the end of this year, like November times. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I would say like it needs to be a 2-3 year wait, but maybe he feels like, you know what, this is my time right now. I've got this. I can punch the ticket right now. Bang it.
You know what? I like that. And that's the thing. So even because I believe that it could be one of those moments when you have your name up in the lights. You took a risk, but you got the greatest reward.
Would you say this is the same? Would you say this is the same type of risk as Yard and Kovalev?
Nah, I think the Yard one was even worse. The reason why I say the Yard one was even worse because Yard is the Josh Boatsy. So you look after that. You just you manage that way different. You know what I mean? You manage that saying, yo, look, this is the number one prospect of this channel. Now, like, this when we think of pay-per-views for this channel, it's him. No one else. Him and Dubois are the pay-per-view numbers. Like, when we want to make money on this channel, when we keep the lights on, obviously they can afford to keep the lights on at BT. You know, the internet's crazy. Yeah? But we need this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the fact that they let it go, because Sky Sports are enjoying. AJ, sell a pay-per-view. Dylan, sell a pay-per-view. You go to Queensbury and you say, Raw, who's the pay-per-view guys? Fury's not even signed to you, man. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like it's worse than what they did with Kovalev. It was, you know what? And it's two ways to look at it because it felt like a calculated decision, but it was an error in it because he just wasn't that level. And now you say it's definitely an error because of what Lyndon did. You know, that's when he can say, okay, it's definitely an error. Like, we shouldn't have done that. Because when we go back down, then Lyndon gets knocked the hell out of here, but he didn't. You know what I mean? So that was a whole error. We fumbled that back. Now with Craig, if Craig, and I don't want to put this out there, but if he doesn't go the way he goes, it doesn't change their situation. But then, however, Matchroom has had a bad couple of weeks. And then it starts, if I'm Frank Warren, I'm in my chatting bag. I'm in my sitting down an hour with Kooks. And I'm saying, yo, we gonna look at this place. We gonna look at this room.
What are they doing over there?
What are they doing over there?
That's not how you do it. I've been in this game a long time.
50 years. I'm in this game 50 years. When I had Josh, you know what I mean? When he can go into that bag, That's what I would be doing if I was. But it's in a story state. I think. But I believe Craig does it. I really feel and that could be a lot of friendship and a lot of bias, and I think there's a lot of that there. But just how he speaks about boxing, yeah, and how dedicated he's been, and he's lived for this moment, bro. I'm telling you right now, the kid is ready.
I'm rooting for him. Undoubtedly, I'm rooting for him. I want to see him win that. I don't know how to equate it as far as explain it to be like to rationalize it. But when he gets in there, he's got my support. That's where I'm at right now. This is a funny one, right? So obviously Ricky Hatton's son is stepping into boxing now, and he's like his dad in a lot of ways because he's got the gift of the gab. He's got the bants, and he's doing well in the headlines. Yeah. So there's a part of him telling his story about him, messing around sparring his dad at 14.
Yeah, and
he's like, yeah, I threw a shot, and he's like, muscle memory. He goes, he's pulled out the way and then come flying in, big left hook to the body. He goes, I hit the deck and I'm rolling trying to breathe. And I hear him over me saying, shit, don't tell your mom. Do you know how funny that is? It's mad. It's mad. I read that and I'm trying not to swear for Lent. I'm trying to give up swearing for Lent. And
well done, man. You ruined
that. Not well done. It's I'm down on the scorecard.
You'll come
again. I'm down on the scorecard, but I'll come again. But that's mad though. That's a mad insight to Ricky Hatton as a dad. Man said the reflex, man's like, bang.
But you know what's mad about that is his son had to, because he ain't even getting the slim Ricky. He's getting big weighted Ricky. So big Ricky, that's still gonna hurt. That's still gonna hurt.
You know what? Yeah, I can see how they're building up Campbell Hatton. Like he's clearly got his dad's charms.
Yeah,
but I saw some amateur fights of Campbell Hatton, and I didn't like what I saw, man. I didn't like it, and it weren't like it was. It weren't like it was 2-3 years ago either. It was like the season when it was active boxing, recent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hope they're gonna do a slow development like how they did with Conor Benn.
Yeah.
Because Conor Benn started very raw and they did the work, and now we're starting to see the new boxing. They need to do that with Campbell Hatton, because I see him gonna be in trouble if he gets in there with some dogs that's that young level. Because some men are coming out with much better pedigrees.
Quickly on this, Teofimo Lopez, because I know you mentioned him on Monday Night Smoke. Yeah. Something I understand. I respect. He's got a mandatory. I respect that, but I'm not. He's holding a belt, but the way he's holding it, I don't like how he's moving.
There's energy there that I don't want to see from someone who just got the championship. Like. Everybody is like, put it this way. All right. So he didn't want to fight the Loma in the rematch. I understand that. There's a lot of bad blood there. No rematch clause and all that kind of stuff. He felt insulted by all of that process. So I understand that. But it doesn't seem like he's calling out anyone.
And that's my problem. When he got the belt, I said to myself, finally, like, it's the champion that won, speaks the language I fully understand. Like, I know exactly what he wants to say. And you think, okay, so when you holding this belt, it's gonna get exciting. You're gonna be in there saying all sorts, or there's gonna be a lot more conversations happening. Yeah. Because again, like Devin Haney's the boogeyman. He must be. No one wants to say his name. You got
nobody wants Devin Haney next.
No one wants to mention Devin. Why?
It's insane.
You have to ask yourself why. Why, Javonte? You ain't really talking about. Why is no one talking about Devin Haney? Let's have that conversation. It's ridiculous.
Bro, I think people know what they're looking at with Devin Haney. They see the boxing, they see the IQ and the smarts, and they think, I don't know how to beat that. So whilst I feel like this, just leave him alone. Because in that fight, like, put it this way, Ryan Garcia beat Luke Campbell for the mandatory spot and just doesn't want it. Like in the post fight, when they said raw, like, you know what I mean? Like he goes, oh, what about Devin Haney? Devin Haney's here. He goes, shout out Devin. Yeah, man.
I like Devin.
I like Devin. I like Devin. I'm like, Devin ain't here to be friends. You man might be cool, but I promise you, he didn't show up here to be ringside, to be mates.
I was listening to another Haney. I don't know if it's his dad or his uncle.
Bill Haney is his dad.
There you go. He said, we have done everything we can do for these bouts. We've done everything. We've tried to turn up. We've tried to be disrespectful. We've done every move under the sun.
Fam.
And no, it's not happening. So you got to say to yourself, this kid is the one.
Trust me, I think he's the one that they're running from. And it's mad because I never necessarily had him down as that. But the fact that they're moving like that is letting me know there's something here that these men do not fancy their chances with.
I feel like they're killing a golden era for them, though.
Oh, they can definitely kill it, but I think they're young enough for it to not be killed yet.
But they could
it might just
the most exciting era in boxing.
It might just not be now. That's the only thing. Because remember, these men are still young in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? How old is Tank? I feel like Tank might be a bit older. Let me see this now. Tank is 26.
We could get mad trilogies.
Yeah, I know. So Tank is 26.
That's young.
Hold on. Yeah. Teofimo Lopez is 23.
Oh,
right. Devin Haney is 22. And Ryan Garcia is the youngest of them. And he's sorry, not the youngest, he's 22 as well. So it can be the era, but it can be that 2 years from now. And that's what I said before when he started when Garcia. No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I don't want to wait. I said it can be, but it can also be 2 years from now. Because when these men were talking about, I want Tank next, I thought to myself, Oscar De La Hoya is not putting you with Tank now. Why would he do that?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
This is business for them as well. So that I'm like, they're gonna get the era cracking at some point, but it won't be now, and I stand by that.
When do you let it? So you think 2 years? So that means
2023.
So what you're saying, but Tank? So you say Tank 29?
I tell you why I believe that. When man said I want Tank next, then he said, wait, I got someone much better, Manny Pacquiao. Nobody got any. There was no treadway for that fight to be confirmed. They couldn't even get in touch with Manny Pacquiao's people. Yeah, so they did all that. Tanks is not really talking much. He's just like, cool, my hands hurt. Now he's in the thing saying they missed their chance. I'm the one that calls the shots. They're doing all this kind of talk. Ryan Garcia is going to fight someone else. Tank's going to fight somewhere else. And that's going to be the end of this conversation.
I feel for Devin, though. I do feel for Devin. I feel someone needs to give him even what Teofimo said. He said, listen, get him a fight, but it has to be a decent opponent.
A top 10 opponent.
Yeah. Why? If he's next, let him fight you next. Like, you're just chatting. Unless Eddie, because Devin is Eddie's fighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless Eddie's still like blackballed in America with American promoters, because the way he came out with the DAZN stuff, I know a lot of people didn't like it.
I hear you, but the problem is Devin Haney is not a knockout puncher. Really, like, do you know what I mean? So that comes with his challenges in terms of, do you bring excitement? Do people scream your name? Like Tank Davis has crazy knockouts that make people go, Tank, Tank, Tank. Devin Haney has boxing displays that boxing fans love. But the casuals, they don't move by that. Lomachenko had a following. Teofimo dethroned him. Teofimo is now a name. Ryan Garcia has the biggest fan base out of all of them because he's got the social media era. Yeah. Devin is the one who probably can box the best, but he just doesn't have that pull. And that's the sad part of where boxing's going, where it's like, you're that talented, but we can freeze you out for that same reason. And that's what's happening to Devin. And I think it's a horrible mark on the modern sport, the modern era.
No, but then again, then you have to learn it.
You got to learn to play the game. That's how you got to adapt.
Because I hear what you're saying, but you got to adapt. Adaptation is key.
That's right. So you need to get your talking game up, bro. Even if you want to sit down and pay Adrien Broner to mentor you on how to get your talking game up, fam. He'd be grateful for the peas. He said, "Look, I came." He goes, "No, there has been change. I came with $13, and you know, we flipped that to $13 million."
We said we flipped that. When he says he flipped, yeah, that is the greatest flip
That's funny.
I've seen.
But the fact is this: Devin Haney has got to get his talk game up. He's got to get his profile up. Make everybody notice you. That's it. And it's like it's a tough thing to sell to purists of any craft. You got a certain man that love stand up and they don't make online content. No, I just work live. And then you get these certain men that rap and it's like, no, I want to rap like KRS-One and yeah, I mean, cool.
You say you got no chorus. You got them
you want to give us 17-minute verses. But cool, Drake is over there going, I like bling, yeah. And he's making peace, and man want to be on his tunes. The world moves that way, so you can fight it, argue it, and cool, or you can adjust and play the game. Certain men right now don't like YouTube content, fam. Them men are saying, "Oh, you know, I like how things are." Who are these guys? They don't know anything about boxing. Well, where? Yeah. Devin Haney has to play the game. Show up at man's yard. Stand outside and film yourself outside his yard and say, I'm trying to get this fight. Brother's got bad excuses. I want to know what the hell's going on. Ding dong. That right there sets the internet on flames. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? I sent the contract to you. What's going on? I'm here now, bro. I ain't running from no one. Visit contracts. Fam, visit everybody. Show up at Tank's gym.
Yeah.
This is how man got to start thinking outside the box. Because if I saw Devin Haney do that, my days.
You see how it works. That's perfect. Showing up at man's house with the contract, and it doesn't even be the real contract. It's just because again, the court of public opinion, we love it.
Thank you. And if you're serious about being a star in the game, do these things. I don't care. Don't let these traditionalists tell you, no, mate, just stay in the gym, work on your boxing and focus on you. Yeah. Do all of that. And then from there, drive to his yard.
Because some people are going to be vomiting when they see Logan Paul, fighting Conor McGregor and taking all the P's and having all the eyes. They will be disgusted. Again, there's a reason why that happens.
Thank you. You see exactly what I'm saying.
He's just got eyes. He's got the eyes of the people. And yes, it pisses everybody off. We know that Logan Paul and
they don't deserve to be fighting anybody.
But again, they understand the game. And do you want to understand the game too? Simple as that. But Travis, man, I'm happy, bro. We done an hour and a half on both pods today.
Hour and a half, yeah, bro. Listen, man, we've been giving these guys some content, some marathons, bro.
Yeah. How many 1,000 hours do you need to do before you become a specialist? What's that thing?
10,000 hours.
We're getting close.
We're getting close.
You winning mad work, bro. You winning mad work.
Oh man.
But yeah,
we're closer today than we were yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, people, look after yourselves. Stay blessed. We're coming out of Boris has had some big announcements.
Yeah, mate.
And the dream is we're going to be watching the Fury versus AJ together. That's the dream, and hopefully your reality.
100%. Have a good week, people.
Yo, people, thanks for watching the Undefeated podcast. Make sure you
like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and all that good stuff, man. This is the place to be.
I liked it still.
Yeah, same.
I liked it. Very nice, very clean.